Have you ever heard the story of a guy that gave away 90% of everything he made, his empire, his business, all his income, gave it away to God in offerings, tithes, and investments, and only lived on 10%? That seems like craziness, right? 10%? He must have been a millionaire, maybe a billionaire. He was very rich, but he wasn't always that way. R.G. Letourneau was a man who built an incredible empire, but at 30 years old, he had been struggling and struggling, found himself in a great amount of debt. He didn't know what to do. But his sister came home one week on furlough as a missionary, and she said, RG, when are you finally just going to give your hopes and dreams and give your life to Jesus Christ and serve him? Well, RG was so confused. He thought, I know I was built and created to do business and to move things forward, and I can't just start serving Jesus on the mission field. And well, that night he went to a tent meeting in town, and he recommitted his life to Jesus Christ. And he came forward. He said, I want to serve you, Jesus. But he sat there confused, and he talked to his pastor that week, and he said, I guess I have to go to the mission field. I recommitted my life to Christ. But I don't know where to go, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be happy. And his pastor said, who said you had to go to the mission field to put Christ first? You know, God needs Christians in the business world just like he does in a different country. And right then, R.G. Letourneau said, then I want to partner with God for business in my life and put him first. So R.G. then put all his hopes, his dreams, his ideas for business and creation in the hands of Jesus Christ. And he ended up building an empire. He built construction and moving machines that helped win World War II. He helped create the infrastructure of all the highways in America, built incredible airlines to the point where at one point he said, God's getting 90%, I only need 10% to the glory of Jesus Christ. Now, we're not R.G. Letourneau. We don't have big empires, but stories can be similar to that. Our verse for today in today's devotional is found in Philippians 3, verse 7 and 8, where Paul says, but everything that was a gain to me, I have considered to be a loss because of Jesus Christ. More than that, I also count everything to be a loss compared to the surpassing richness and value of knowing Christ Jesus. See, Paul was a lot like R.G. Letourneau. He was on a fast track to fame and a fast track to popularity. He was going to be the number one religious guy in all of Israel, and then something happened. He had an encounter with Jesus. But before that, he was on a fast track without Jesus, and it was going to lead him down the wrong road. It's going to lead him down to such a road that would end up in death and darkness. In fact, he stood by at the stoning of Stephen. He started putting Christians in jail. He was heading to a terrible place before God where he thought he was doing all he was created to do by God. And he had an encounter with Jesus. And now he considered all those things a loss compared to just knowing Christ. Now, this verse doesn't say that we have to give up careers, give up aspirations. See, we all have hopes, we have dreams. We've been created to desire things. Some of us desire a different career, to do something with our lives that have purpose. Some of us desire to be married. Some of us desire to have kids. We have hopes and dreams and desires that actually have been put within us, inherently within us, that's totally natural. But what Paul is saying here is don't give up all those dreams and those hopes. Don't give up businesses if you were created to do business. Don't give up those things. The problem comes when you pursue those things outside of the one who put those dreams and those desires in you. And here's why. Because within ourselves, when we just pursue things in our flesh, we make them something they're not supposed to be, right? If you pursue marriage and get married without Jesus Christ, who's the author of our union, you make it about what you need, what you want. It becomes a selfish endeavor. And when that partner can't live up to expectations, that's when we have a conflict and potentially a split up or divorce. When you pursue kids, but you're pursuing them for the wrong reasons, you're not understanding that the one who gave you that desire, the one that gave you that heart for children, has an idea for what raising children's all about. If you just putting children first and you just, we got our kids and now what do we do with our kids? It becomes something it's not supposed to be. It doesn't become a raising them up in the Lord. It becomes a, how do we get these kids out of the house? I hope that makes sense. If we don't put Jesus first in all we do, if we don't pursue him and knowing him, as Paul says, to know him means to spend time with him. It means to learn how to listen to him. It means to put your desire into his hands and say, if this is your desire for my life, what should it look like? What should this business look like if you're giving me this desire? I want to know Christ. Everything else is considered a loss unless I know him first and understand the why to why he gave it to me. If I don't have Jesus, I pollute the why and I pervert the very desire or dream he gave me. But if I consider it not as valuable as knowing Jesus and hearing Jesus, listening to Jesus, if I consider it not as valuable and run everything I hope and dream for through Jesus, then all of a sudden the purpose becomes real. All of a sudden the hope, the dream, the desire becomes a tool for glorifying Jesus Christ and accomplishing his mission. R.G. Letourneau would once say that I do my business, I create another thing. You know, he had 299 patents. The guy was creative, he's an inventor. He said, my ideas, all my creations go through Jesus Christ, and I ask, what would you want to do with this, Jesus? And then the Lord blessed it. Everything we put before Jesus, put it on the table right before him, and then look to him and say, what would you have me do with this desire? Or maybe it's not the desire from you and I need to discard it. So I just hope and pray that today we all are on a pursuit of desires and hopes, dreams, goals. They could be as big as new businesses and ventures. They could be starting families, getting married, all those things. They could be even going on the mission field, like R.G. Letourneau's sister. Maybe I want to go on a mission field. What Paul's telling us today is we need to put Jesus first and put everything else second and pursue Christ, listen to Christ, understand the purpose and the why that he gives us these things for, so then we can pursue them with the proper and pure heart and utilize them to glorify him and build his kingdom. Then we won't pollute it, we won't pervert it, we won't make it about what we want, we'll make it about what he wanted all along. I'm praying for you guys today. Your next step today is, what are your pursuits and your dreams? What's in your heart's desire? What is that thing you're saying, in this season I'm going to do this, I'm asking God for this? And have you put it before Jesus and say, God, what would it really look like if this were from you? Let me step in accordance to that. We first have to get in front of Jesus, and we have to lay all things at his feet so that we can get a better understanding of why he's given us those things. Guys, have a great day. Keep reading Philippians. It's Philippians 3 all week. Love you. Talk to you soon.